Here you see Cody, or Red English Labrador, posing next to a giant redwood. We are here at the Henry Cowell Redwood State Park, tucked into the Santa Cruz Mountains, just a few miles from the beach town of Felton, about an hour south of San Jose. We are starting at the visitor center. That's your base for everything in this park. Trailhead maps, restrooms, ranger talks, worth 5 minutes if it's your first visit. The park covers about 4,650 acres in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It sits right at that sweet spot where the coastal fog belt meets the mountain ridges. And that geography, as we are about to see, is everything. It's the reason these trees exist here at all. We are heading first to the Redwood Groove Loop, just under a mile, 30 feet of elevation gain. That means basically flat. And in that short distance, you're going to walk among some of the most ancient living things on this continent. We are going to step into the Redwood Groove Loop Trail, where we'll see the first big trees. When we step into this trail, we'll feel that the temperature just dropped, the noise of the world gone. That's the canopy doing its work. 300 feet above us, those crowns are filtering the light, holding the moisture, creating a microclimate that hasn't changed in centuries. These are coast redwoods, Sequoia sempervirens, which means literally ever living. And that name is earned. The species has existed on this planet for over 240 million years. They were here before the dinosaurs. They survived ice ages, mass extinctions, tectonic shifts. The tree we are looking at right now, that one with the cinnamon red bark, is somewhere between 1500 and 2000 years old. It was already a mature tree when the Roman Empire fell. Think about that for a second. Coast redwoods once blanketed much of northern hemisphere. Today they survive in only one place on earth, a narrow fog belt along the California and southern Oregon coast, about 450 miles long. Henry Cowell protects one of the finest remaining old growth stands in the entire Santa Cruz Mountains. And here's the thing about fog that our ranger explained. It's not just the weather to these trees, it is food. In California, dry summers, when the rain disappears for months, the redwoods pull moisture directly from the coastal fog through their needles. Up to 40% of their annual water intake comes from the fog drip alone. The marine layer rolling in from Monterey Bay. That's what keeps these trees alive. The bark you're seeing, that deep reddish brown, almost spongy texture, that's the tree's armor. It's packed with tannins that repel insects and resist fire. Redwoods don't just survive fires, they are built for them. Some of these trunks have fire scars from burns that happened centuries ago, and the tree just kept growing. Looking at a circular cluster of young redwoods, a fairy ring, called a fairy ring. Look at this. See how these younger trees are growing in a perfect ring. This is called a fairy ring, and it's one of the most remarkable things about how redwoods regenerate. When a parent tree falls or dies, it sends up sprouts from its root systems. Those sprouts grow into full trees, fed by shared roots of their parent. Over time, the parent decays, and you are left with this circle, a family of trees that are all genetically identical, all connected underground, all descendants of a single ancient ancestor. The parent of this ring may have fallen hundreds of years ago, but the family is still here. Talk about human history here because this forest almost didn't survive. Long before European contact, this land was home to the Avaswas speaking Ohlone people. They lived in this forest for thousands of years, fishing the San Lorenzo River, hunting the hills, using the redwoods for shelter and tools. Their relationship with this land was measured in millennia, not decades. Then came the 1860s. The railroad boom hit California, and with it came one of the most destructive logging operations the West had ever seen. The Santa Cruz Mountains were devastated. Mill after mill cut through old growth forests that had stood since before recorded history. Most of what you see in the broader region, those second growth forests, the younger trees, they are the aftermath of that era. But not here. Henry Cowell was a San Francisco businessman who acquired much of this land during that period, and crucially, he chose not to log the old growth grove. After Cowell's death, his foundation donated the Redwood Grove section to the state of California. In 1930s, the Civilian Conservation Corps, young men put to work during the Great Depression, built many of the trails and facilities you are walking on today. And in 1954, Henry Cowell Redwoods was officially established as a California state park. What we are walking through is a direct line from that decision. One person, one choice, and centuries of living forests preserved. We have finished the Redwood Grove loop now and picking up the pipeline trail, heading south towards the Cathedral Redwoods. If you have the legs for it, this 4-mile moderate route is the next level up from the Grove Walk. 300 feet of elevation gain, about 2.5 hours, and takes you deeper into the park's backcountry. The San Lorenzo River runs through the heart of this park, and as we get further south, you'll start seeing it through the trees. In winter and spring, steelhead trout run upstream through here to spawn one of the last healthy steelhead populations on California's central coast. Cable Car Beach and Big Rock Hole, both accessible from the trail, are popular swimming spots in summer when the river slows and warms. The park also connects north to the Zayante Trail and south towards UC Santa Cruz. So if you want to make a full day of it, there are well over 20 miles of trails to explore. I'm standing here in this Redwood National Park, Henry Cowell Redwoods National Park. And I'm here with my dog, Cody, Red English Labrador. And I'm standing here and looking up at the canopy of this redwood trees. And this is what I keep coming every time over here. Whenever I visit, I like the tranquility of this place. We spend so much of our lives in a hurry, optimizing, scrolling, moving faster than we can actually think. And then you walk into a grove of 2,000-year-old trees and everything recalibrates. These trees were here before any nation on this continent existed. They'll be here if we protect them, long after every building in every city we have ever built has turned to dust. There's something humbling about that and something hopeful. Cody, my Red English Labrador, doesn't need any of that philosophy, of course. He just knows this is a good trail with excellent smells. If you are planning a visit, get here early. The grove is magical before 9 a.m. Bring layers. It's always cooler under the canopy than you expect. 2 liters of water if you are doing the longer loops. The dogs are welcome on the paved roads, though not on the hiking trails in the grove itself. Henry Cowell Redwood State Park, Felton, California, is just off Highway 9. Come see what 2000 years looks like. We'll see you on the trail. Thank you.